Devi Puranam, Skanda 1, Chapter 4. There is no liberation without offspring. After Suta told saints he had once heard the Devi Bhagavatam from the great Sukadeva, son of Vyasa, the sages gathered in Naimisharanya grew curious. They turned to Suta and asked, how was Sukadeva born? Which of Vyasa's wife was his mother? How did he learn such vast Puranas if, as you say, he was born of Agni, sacrificial fire? How is that even possible? In response, Suta smiled and began to recount an extraordinary tale. Once, Maharshi Vyasa was sitting quietly on the banks of sacred river Saraswati, lost in thought. He happened to witness a simple but profound scene. Two Chataka birds, just after hatching their chicks, were feeding them lovingly, kissing their tiny beaks, shielding them from the wind and hunger, all while neglecting their own needs. Vyasa's heart stirred. These birds have no wealth, no scriptures, and no rituals, he thought. And yet, their love for their children is pure and selfless, without any expectation. He pondered, if birds can love like this, how much more should human beings cherish their own children? To touch, to hold, to nurture a child is among the greatest joys of life. He sighed, realizing that offsprings not only bring joy but also carry forward one's lineage and dharma. Without children, even a wise person might die, full of regret, wondering what becomes of all his wealth, home, and legacy, with no one to pass them on to. With this longing in his heart, Vyasa set off to sacred Mount Meru, intending to perform intense penance to be blessed with a worthy son. But as he sat to meditate, another dilemma arose. Which form of divine should I worship? Who has the power to bless me with a spiritually radiant child? Just then, the celestial sage Narada arrived. Seeing Vyasa's troubled face, he asked, O Vyasa, why does your mind waver? Vyasa opened his heart and spoke of his desire for a son, one who could uphold Dharma and spread divine knowledge, but he was unsure which deity to turn to for such a rare blessing. Narada listened and then said something astonishing. I once asked my own father Brahma this very question, and do you know what? He told me Brahma had once gone to Vishnu, who was then in a deep meditation. Surprised, Brahma asked, O Lord Vishnu, who are you meditating upon? Is there anyone greater than you in this all existence? Vishnu opened his eyes slowly and replied, Yes, Brahma, there is a power greater than me. The power is Mahashakti, the Supreme Divine Mother. Because of her, you are able to create. Because of her, I am able to preserve, and because of her, Shiva can destroy. Vishnu continued, It is a will that compels me to take various avatars like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha. Do you think I do this of my own accord? If I had complete freedom, I would have simply rested on the soft coils of Adishesha with Lakshmi at my feet, but I surrender to her will. Once I was even beheaded by the force of bowstring right before your eyes. It was her energy that restored me, giving me the head of horse. That is how I became known as Hayagriva. If I were truly independent, would any of this have happened to me? No, I am not the ultimate power. I am simply a servant of that Supreme Shakti. I know nothing beyond her. Narada turned to Vyasa and said, These were Brahma's own words. So, if you truly seek divine blessing, if you wish for a son of wisdom and radiance, then meditate upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Devi. She alone fulfills the deepest desires of the heart. Vyasa, filled with reverence, now knew whom to worship. He closed his eyes, folded his hands, and began to chant her name, invoking the mother of all the creation, the source of all gods, and the one who waves the destiny of the universe with a smile. And thus began Vyasa's journey into the heart of Devi Bhagavatam. Even the Holy Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are the instruments of her will. She is not just worshipped, she is the power behind all the worship.